Hey, it's your girl Tifa.
And I'm Keith. And today we're here to give you some very important information to keep you safe, to keep you healthy. And we want to give it to you straight up so you don't end up getting messed up because you didn't know how to protect yourself.
We're here to talk to you today about STIs, sexually transmitted infections, which you may also know as STDs, sexually transmitted diseases. Now, whether or not you're currently sexually active or not, it's still important for you to listen to this critical information. While I personally feel you're too young to be having sex, I also know some of you have already started, and this information is critical to your well-being. But I'm not trying to be the one to judge you or tell you whether you should or should not. I just want to help keep you safe.
You should be talking to your parents and guardians about all of this, but I understand that those types of conversations can be tough. If you're having sex in any way, you should know about the risks you're taking. So for the next 5 or 10 minutes, watch and listen to the video Chicago Public Schools and the Chicago Department of Public Health have put together, and you'll really know what's up.
Everybody's talking about HIV, and you know you can get it if you have sex with someone who has it. But there are many other diseases out there that can really hurt you, and you may not even know that you have them. Some of these infections are spreading so fast, they are already epidemics in Chicago. There are 4 basic kinds of STIs, sexually transmitted infections. They're caused by bacteria, viruses, protozoa, and parasites. All of these are tiny organisms, you can call them bugs, too small to see without a microscope. Bacterial infections include gonorrhea, also known as the clap, chlamydia, and syphilis. Virus-based infections include HIV, genital warts or human papillomavirus, HPV, herpes simplex, hepatitis B and C. The main protozoal infection is trichomoniasis or trich, and infections from parasites or pubic lice, also called crabs and scabies. STIs must be reported to the health department. While we can keep your identity secret, the cases must be reported. This must be done by whoever diagnoses the infection, by the health department or your private physician. Gonorrhea, chlamydia, syphilis, hepatitis B, and HIV/AIDS are all reportable STIs.
You probably have heard about the former NBA great Magic Johnson, who has been living with HIV for many years. While he's not cured, he has been able to live a healthier life because of early treatment. But you can have HIV and not know it. So getting early treatment means getting diagnosed early.
There are simple, pain-free tests available that can tell you if you have HIV. You can get testing free of charge at health department clinics, school-based health centers, and other HIV health providers across the city. In the state of Illinois, if you're 12 and older, you don't need parental consent to take the test. If you have ever participated in any form of sexual activity, especially unprotected sex, you should consider taking a test. For information on free HIV testing, call 1-800-8-AIDS. That's 1-800-243-2437.
Ladies and all of the young men out there, I'm telling you now, it's not likely that someone is going to come straight out and tell you if they have any disease, especially if they don't know themselves. The only way to find out is to get tested so you can save your life.
STIs affect teenagers and young adults more than any other portion of the population. Gonorrhea and chlamydia are the 2 most common STIs affecting young people in Chicago, and syphilis is on the rise. Here are the top 10 Chicago zip codes with the highest rates of gonorrhea and chlamydia. So let's talk about the 2 most common STIs among your age group, gonorrhea and chlamydia. Now remember, these are bacterial infections, and if detected, a person can be treated and cured of both of these STIs. Gonorrhea. The symptoms for gonorrhea appear 2 to 10 days after having sex. Symptoms include a discharge from the penis, vagina, or rectum, and painful, difficult urination. In women, abdominal pain and bleeding between periods may occur. This is what a person may see if their infection goes undiagnosed and untreated. Chlamydia. The symptoms for chlamydia include a burning sensation when urinating and a discharge from the penis or vagina. It is important to know that a person can be infected with chlamydia or gonorrhea and have no symptoms at all, meaning you can feel perfectly fine, no pain or discharge, but still test positive, which means you have the infection. Since a person may show no symptoms, it is important to test on a regular basis if you are sexually active. If left untreated, both chlamydia and gonorrhea may cause serious illnesses. Men may become sterile, meaning they're not able to contribute living sperm for pregnancy. Women may develop pelvic inflammatory disease, or PID, which may cause problems with getting pregnant or carrying the pregnancy to delivery. If a young woman is pregnant or thinks she may be pregnant, she should seek immediate prenatal medical care and get tested. Pregnant women at any stage can become infected with an STI. Now let's talk about viral infections. A viral infection cannot be cured. However, there are medications that can help ease some of the pain and symptoms, but the viral infection will not go away. Some viral infections include herpes, genital warts HPV, hepatitis B and C, and HIV. For today's education, we will focus on HIV. You can contract HIV the same way you get gonorrhea and chlamydia, through unprotected vaginal, oral, and anal sex. Half of all new HIV infections each year are in those under 25 years of age. You can't look at someone and tell if they're infected with an STI or HIV, and not everyone will be honest and tell you up front. Not only can you become infected through semen and vaginal fluids, but also by other activities where blood-to-blood contact may be involved. These include intravenous drug use, tattoos, and body piercings. If you want a tattoo or piercing, go to a licensed facility. Make sure the equipment used is new and sterile. HIV can also be transmitted from a mother to child through breastfeeding. So, you can't contract HIV from shaking hands or sharing toilets or food, and you can't get it through spit, kissing, coughing, or mosquitoes. HIV is transmitted through semen, vaginal fluid, blood, and breast milk. HIV stands for the human immunodeficiency virus. Remember the word virus, not curable. Our immune system is what helps keep us healthy from bacteria and infections. Types of white blood cells, known as T cells, help in this process. The HIV breaks down your immune system. Once the virus attacks the T cells, we have no more fighting power and our immune system begins to weaken. We may begin to lose our strength, become tired more often, and it may become difficult to get rid of colds and other infections. Once a person knows their HIV status, meaning if they're positive, they have the infection, or negative, they don't have the infection, something can be done. If in medical care, a person may receive medication that will help keep their immune system healthy. Again, HIV is not curable, so these medications will not take the infection away. Anyone who has ever been sexually active should get tested for STIs, since most of them have no signs or symptoms. Just because a person may not feel or see anything different does not mean that they are free from infection. Many young people may have some concerns when deciding to get tested, but remember, in the state of Illinois, any person aged 12 and up can consent to their own decision to test, receive treatment, and obtain other services without parental consent. The more youth that test, the more we can decrease the number of youth infected with these sexually transmitted infections, including HIV.
Now that you have some information about STIs, how can you prevent them? Here are some tips. Abstinence, not having sex. This is the only 100% way not to contract an STI.
Postponing sex, waiting until a person is ready, has protection, is in a monogamous relationship, both partners have been tested. If you've already begun having sex, it's perfectly okay to stop or postpone sex until you've met all or some of these things. When you know better, you do better.
Use a latex or polyurethane condom. Now the key thing here is using the condom correctly every time you have sex. It does greatly reduce your risk for obtaining or spreading sexually transmitted infections.
Let's recall the facts. STIs can be transmitted through vaginal, oral, and anal sex, and condoms should be used with all of these sexual acts. A person can protect themselves during oral sex by using latex barriers like flavored condoms and dental dams, which will reduce the risk for getting an STI. Dental dams are flavored sheets of latex that are placed over the genital area. Did you know that there are female condoms as well as male condoms? Some men also use female condoms. A female condom can be used during vaginal and anal sex.
Here's some important tips to know when using a male or a female condom. Both female and male condoms are meant for one-time use only. Never reuse the same condom more than once. If extra lubricant is needed, use a water-based lubricant like KY jelly. Never use oil-based products like lotion or petroleum jelly, Vaseline. Oil-based products will cause the condom to break. Do not use a male condom together with a female condom or wear 2 male condoms at the same time during sex. The friction generated between the 2 materials will cause either or both of them to break down.
That was a lot of information. And many of you may be sitting back in your chairs right now acting a little weary about what you just heard. Don't be discouraged. There's something you can do to help yourself. Today, you're being offered the chance to test for chlamydia and gonorrhea. I recommend and encourage everyone to test. There's a lot of stuff going on out there, and I want everyone to be leaders today, not followers. What does a leader do? A leader takes charge and moves forward.
Now, I know there's some people sitting around you right now. There's some haters that are looking at this and saying, whatever, I'm gonna do what I wanna do. That's very selfish. If you've ever had sex or you haven't been tested since the last time you had sex, you need to be a leader and take charge of your life and forget all them haters and get tested. The health department is making it easy for you to be tested. At the end of this presentation, you have an opportunity to take a really quick test that doesn't hurt at all.
Not only is the test free, but it's also confidential. And all you have to do is pee in a cup. No one will know your decision to test except you and the Chicago Department of Public Health. Your school, parents, friends, and classmates will have no idea you tested unless you tell them. And no, you aren't being tested for anything other than chlamydia and gonorrhea. They aren't testing for drugs, pregnancy, or your IQ, just chlamydia and gonorrhea. Still not convinced you should test, huh? If you can say yes to any of the following things, you should get tested. Ready? If you ever had unprotected sex without the use of a condom, you should get tested.
Have you ever had unprotected oral sex? If someone did it to you or you did it to somebody and you didn't use a barrier method like a dental dam or a flavored condom, then that's you. You've been exposed. Yes, you can have gonorrhea or chlamydia in your throat. So you should get tested.
If you have ever had a condom break or pop, you put a condom on, it pops, comes off, that was a time you were unprotected. So you should get tested.
If you are a lady having unprotected sex with another lady, or you're a guy having unprotected sex with another guy, can you get STDs from having a same-sex partner? Yes, you can. It doesn't matter if you have the same-sex partner, you can still get STDs. So you should get tested.
If you ever had any type of unprotected foreplay, unprotected foreplay is a guy trying to be slick. I'm gonna get this couple of strokes in, then I'm gonna put my condom on. If you already went in there without a condom, you've already been exposed. So you should get tested.
And last but not least, if you've ever said, I'm a virgin, I don't need to get tested. I only had sex one time. Now I'm a re-virgin. There's no such thing as a re-virgin. If you've had sex one time, you should get tested.
If you could say yes to any of this, respect yourself, protect yourself, and get tested.
Okay, everyone, so this is how the testing process will go. Everyone will receive a brown paper bag. Inside this bag is paperwork that you will need to fill out. There's a contact form, consent forms, and other forms that you can take home with you. Everyone is going to fill out the forms even if you decide today not to test. And the reason why we want you to fill out the forms is to maintain your confidentiality. Because if everyone is filling out the forms, no one knows who's going to test and who's not going to. After completing the forms, you will place them back into the bag and take everything into the bathroom. Once you go into the stall, at that point you can decide whether or not you would like to participate and test. You will pull out your plastic cup, unscrew the cap, and provide us with a urine sample. You do not have to fill this cup up all the way to the top, just about halfway up. You will then screw the top back on, place it back inside this plastic bag and seal it tightly, and then place it back into the brown bag along with all of your paperwork. Make sure all of your contents are inside the brown paper bag before coming out of the stall. Once again, we do that to make sure that we maintain your confidentiality so no one knows if you decided to test or not. You will then be escorted to another room where you will meet with a counselor to turn in all of your contents and your specimen cup. At that point, the counselor will look over your paperwork, make sure everything is complete, and ask you any additional questions. At this point, you can also ask the counselor questions, any questions that you may have about STDs. This is a good time to ask them. The counselor will then give you a small card. On that card is the time and date that you will call to receive your results. Please make sure you call on that date to receive your results. If by chance you are positive, meaning that you have chlamydia or gonorrhea or both, we will refer you to your school-based health center or a community clinic to receive treatment. Please make sure that you go to a clinic as soon as possible. If you wait a long time, the infections can do more damage to your body.
Hey friends, my name is David, and I wanted to tell you a quick story about being hopeful and hopeless. June 19, 2007, I was a hopeless individual. When I walked into my doctor's office, my doctor told me immediately when I walked into her quarters, "You are HIV positive." I didn't know what that meant. I thought it was a death sentence, but it really wasn't. That was me being in a hopeless situation. But friends, little brothers and little sisters, those who are watching, you do not have to be hopeless by not knowing your truth. Remain being a face of hope and going and get that test. STIs are very serious. They're prevalent in our community, and you need to be a face, a leader, a catalyst of hope and not hopelessness. Please, be like I am. Be a face of hope. Know your status. Know the truth. And please, by all means, be a face of hope.
So now's the moment of truth. Who's willing and ready to take control of their life? The decision you make today will have a negative or a positive impact on the rest of your life. Respect yourself, protect yourself, and get tested. Where my leaders at?
The first and best way to respect and protect yourself is to abstain from sex. That's right, you can make a decision not to have sex. Just say no. You have the right to keep yourself free from disease, and you may have religious or other personal reasons why you don't want to have sex so early in your life. You might want to wait till you're older to have sex. So don't let anyone push you into something you're not ready to do. If you're still living at home, please talk to your parents or guardians about this. It's a big decision, and once you cross the line, you can't take it back.
But be honest with yourself. If you are already having sex, use a condom each and every time. Use protection. Avoid infection. Protect your health and get tested for gonorrhea and chlamydia today. If you choose not to test today, or you need additional information or testing results in the future, please visit any one of these resources who can help you get the services you need.
You have been given information regarding sexually transmitted infection and other valuable information. I hope you'll take what you've heard today seriously and practice a safe, respectful, and protected lifestyle.
Do your part to help take care of yourself and help reduce rates of STIs and HIV. Peace.